So what we should have at the moment is our rock, paper, scissors. I choose rock and it tells me whether I won or lost. I choose paper, it tells me whether I won or lost, or I choose scissors and it tells me whether I won or lost. And so now what we want to do is make sure that it doesn't print it out here, but that it prints it out up here on our screen. And not just that it prints it out up here on our screen, but it also prints out the weapons that were used, right? So if I clicked rock and then computer chose paper, it should print out up here you lost, and then it says, human chose rock, computer chose paper, and it should print out it should also draw the rock and draw the paper. So how can we do all of that? Sounds complicated, but it's pretty straightforward. First of all, we would want to delete this print computer chooses, human chooses. Let's get rid of that. We don't, well, maybe we could just leave it for now. But for sure, what we want to do is not print out the word tie here using the print function. We want to print out the word tie using the write function, right? So let's come back down and we can take this code that we used to write our, let's just go ahead and take all of it, that we used to write our title in the main function, right? Let's copy all of that, and I'm going to put it right here inside of tie. You want to make sure after you copy and paste that you indent so that it is inside of the if statement, right? So we indent once for the first if because we're inside the def RPS, and then we indent one more time because we're inside of this if statement, and then we indent one more time because we're inside of this if statement. Right. So make sure everything's lined up. But again, we don't want to print out rock, paper, scissors. Instead of rock, paper, scissors, we want to print out it's a tie. Right? And then what? Now we want to print here what the human chose and what the computer chose, right? So let's put human. No, let's maybe we could just put human. Human chose rock. And then we could put here, instead of choose your weapon, we could put computer chose rock. Okay, so let's go ahead and test that. We run it. Now I'm going to keep hitting rock until it's rock, rock. Ooh, so we got rock, rock, and it goes away. Okay, so the reason why is because we're trying to use this T, the turtle, from the main function. But again, here in RPS, we don't have a T variable. So why don't we make, inside of this function, why don't we make a new turtle? So let's say T is equal to turtle.turtle. And we got to make sure we set its color. T.color is white. And I think that's all we need to do, right? And you might be thinking, well, we have a T that's in main. Isn't the computer going to get confused now that we're here in RPS if we also make another turtle with the variable T? Well, no, it's not. The computer's not, because the T in main only exists in main. So when we get here, we can also make another variable called T, and it won't be confused because this T exists here in RPS. It's a different turtle, it's a different variable than the main function. So we can use that same T variable. And so let's go ahead and try this again. I'm going to hit rock. Hopefully it'll hit rock, rock. Okay, so there we go. And so you see how it wrote it, but it wrote it on top of what was written in the past, right? So what we need to do is we need to erase what was written in the past. And so to erase what was written earlier, we do need that other turtle from the main function. We need the turtle that wrote that original title here. Right? And that original title was written using the turtle from the main function. So when we're over here, we need to, when we're calling RPS right here in the choose. Ooh. So we need to somehow get rid of the stuff that was written earlier. And so one way we can do that is we can make the turtle global. Okay. So why don't we go ahead and make the turtle global? Meaning, when I say global, I mean it can be seen by all of the functions. And so it's not a good habit to do, but we're going to do it in this case. And the way that we get that done is we go outside of all the functions after the import, and we write turtle. But since we wrote all these different little t variables in all of our other functions, we don't want our functions to get confused. So I'm going to call this a turtle. I'm going to call him, oh, let's give him a name, Sam. Okay. And so now we're here in our main function. We got to change all of these to Sam. Whoa. Because we want to use the global variable, the global turtle, to do these things. And the reason why we want the global turtle is so that we can erase what he wrote earlier. And so if you're ever in a function and you need to use a global variable, you have to specify global and then the name of the variable. So I have to say global Sam if I want to use the Sam turtle here in main. And so now I'm over here under RPS, and I also want to use the global Sam variable, right? So I say global Sam, that's the turtle. And I want to use it because after I run RPS, I want to erase everything that Sam wrote. And the way that you erase everything Sam writes is you write sam.clear. Okay, so it's going to take everything that Sam wrote in the beginning, that title, and it's going to delete all of it. And so now when I write my stuff, the new stuff, where it says computer chooses, and then I say human chose, and I say whether it was a tie or not, I can actually see it on the screen. So let's go ahead and run that again. Ooh, T is not defined. What are we talking about? Oh, okay, right. So here we don't want to send T, we want to send Sam, right? So let's send Sam to all of those functions. And so let's come back. I'm going to hit rock, and it's not rock. Okay, so there we go, right? So so let's see. Oh, I only want to clear if, no, I'm okay. So, so I click and it says computer chose rock, but the one thing we're missing is we're missing the drawing of the rock and of the rock, right? So what we want to do here is we're in this branch of the if statement, and we want to run our draw rock function using our variable, and let's use, we can use either turtle, it doesn't matter, right? And we'll use Sam. And for Sam, when we make him out here, Sam.turtle. Okay, that sounds good. So let's go ahead and run that again. And I hit the rock. I'm waiting for it to be rock, and it also draws the rock, which is what I want, right? And so the reason why it's deleting whenever it doesn't choose rock, it's because on these if statements here, we run it. We also run RPS, but when we run RPS, it deletes the Sam variable, right? Which won't matter if we draw and we write the right things on each of these cases, but it does matter if we don't draw and write the right things. So basically what you need to do is complete this algorithm for the rest of the cases, right? So right here, if human chooses rock and computer chooses paper, you need to write the right things, and you need to draw the right weapons. So I'm going to go ahead and let you do that, and good luck.